After years of silence, Superman came crashing back into theaters, but this time he didn't come to save the world quietly. Man of Steel, released in 2013, is the most divisive Superman film ever made. For some, it's a bold reinvention. For others, it's a betrayal of what Superman stands for. One thing is for sure, though, it redefined the man of tomorrow for the modern age. Welcome to the final chapter of The Last Son of Krypton, and today we're diving into Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, a film that asks, what if Superman was real and the world feared him for it? So right off from the start, you know that this is not your father's and your mom and pa's Superman. Krypton is no longer a sterile ice palace. It's a dying warrior world full of beasts, politics, rebellion, and desperation. Jor-El is played by Russell Crowe, who's both a scientist and a soldier, and his scenes are packed with world building. The visual effects are epic, the tone is mythic, and this is Superman born in a sci-fi tragedy, not a fairy tale this time around. Man of Steel doesn't give us that classic Clark Kent newsroom introduction. Instead, we meet a grown Clark drifting, lost, hiding in plain sight. He's saving people quietly, disappearing after hero moments, questioning who he is and what he's supposed to become. So we jump back and forth, flashbacks to Smallville youth, torn between two fathers, Jor-El telling him he's destined for greatness, while Pa Kent, is played by Kevin Costner, tells him that the world is not ready. And these scenes are quiet, powerful, and deeply human. Pa Kent's message is complicated because, protect yourself first. It's not what we're used to hearing from Jonathan Kent, but it reflects a real-world fear of difference. It's not until the fortress, or rather a Kryptonian scout ship, that Clark learns the truth about who he is. He puts on the suit, he steps out into the sun, and we get that amazing flight scene. It's raw, shaky, and emotional. He doesn't fly with ease, he learns, he stumbles, he adapts. And when he finally soars above the clouds, you can't help but smile. And now we enter Michael Shannon's General Zod. Easily one of the best villains in any Superman film. He's not evil for the sake of it. He's a genetic protector of Krypton, and when Superman refuses to help resurrect Krypton on Earth, killing everybody in the process, Zod sees him as a traitor.
I was bred to be a warrior, Cal. Trained my entire life to master my senses. Where did you train? On a farm?
Their conflict isn't just personal, it's cultural warfare. Zod wants to build Krypton's future, while Superman wants to protect Earth's. This movie turns Superman's arrival into a global event. The government is terrified, people don't trust him, and it's not a hopeful first flight, it's first contact with a god-like alien, and it's terrifying. Now we get to the most talked about part of this film, and that is the third act. Once Zod forces invade, Man of Steel turns into a war zone. Buildings fall, Metropolis is torn apart, and Superman, for the first time in cinematic history, is fighting at full force. Some fans love the scale, others hated the destruction, but one thing's true, this is Superman unrestrained in a battle he didn't ask for, in a world that's not ready. Then comes the moment. Superman kills General Zod. That next snap is still debated to this day. Some people say it's not Superman, others argue it's his defining moment, the line he never wants to cross again. Henry Cavill screamed after it, that's not victory, it's trauma. Man of Steel isn't trying to copy the Reeve films, it's trying to ask bigger questions. What would happen if a god landed on Earth? Would we welcome him or fear him? What if being Superman hurt? Snyder's vision is mythic, tragic, almost religious, and it's more about what Superman means to us than how it feels to be in a comic book. For better or worse, is a Superman movie made for the modern ages and world, and that's why it still sparks conversation over a decade later. Man of Steel is a flawed, emotional, and powerful reintroduction to the character. It's not the Superman that we expected, but maybe that is why it worked for so many people. While there are some pacing issues, controversial choices, it's still bold, cinematic, and deeply personal. It redefined the character and it laid the groundwork for a darker, more complex universe, whether you like that direction or not. And that is it for The Last Son of Krypton. We have gone from 1978's optimism to 2013's modern reckoning. And now, on the horizon next week, we have James Gunn's Superman, promising a brighter, younger, more hopeful take. Will it succeed? Will it unite fans again? One thing's for sure, the world still needs Superman. So with that, like, comment your ranking of all 6 live-action Superman movies, and subscribe, because a new era is about to begin. And remember, he's not just faster than a speeding bullet, he's a symbol that never dies.